Hey everybody, so today's video is going to be a story time. I have never did a story time video before, and the only reason I think that it was stopping me is because I really just did not know what to talk about, what to bring up. Like, you know, I honestly did not know because a lot of crazy things happened to me, especially this summer. This was a wild summer, and if you guys want me to make like story time videos about certain nights, just let me know, because I just don't know if you guys really want to hear it. But trust, like, listen, when I tell you this summer was crazy. Anyway, that's not the point. So today's story time video is going to be about the time me and my coworker found out that we were talking to the same boy. So let me just get into this. I'm gonna change all of their names, and even me and her are going to film a video together, telling the story together. So this is just gonna be like my little, you know, intro, but when me and her make the video, you guys can really see how it was from both sides, because boys are not shit. Okay, that's it, just leave boys alone. So last year around this time, I had started at my job that I'm currently at. If you know, I have two jobs, and this was at my one job. This is my second job, and I started around this time. And my first job, which I still work at, I started that in the summer. I had just turned 16. So yeah, I started in the summer, then I started this, like, you know, whatever. Basically, 2015, this time, I was starting my second new job. So when I got there, this was the time I was learning how to do my eyebrows. I had in a little, I remember my hair color and everything. I remember all the weaves I went through. I had in that auburnish hair, but that's the time I didn't cut it into a bob and stuff like that. So when I look back at pictures, like, I had black eyebrows, girl. Like, I was using ebony, but I was like drawing the shit out of those things. Okay, not good, not a good look, right? So yeah, boom. So I had just started my new job, and on my first day, I didn't really like meet anybody. I met my boss, and I met this other girl, and she was really nice. We're gonna name her Christina. So yeah, I met Christina. She was the head cashier at the place, and she just showed me the ropes. She was like, you do this, you do that, you do that. That's it. She seemed like she was, you know, a pretty cool girl. And I also met the guy who this story is about, and we're gonna name him Zaire, because I can't think of nothing. So Zaire. So I had met Zaire, whatever. And when I first met Zaire, I was like, he is so cute. Like, I had butterflies in my stomach, and I don't get butterflies about people because, like, I don't really care. So yeah, I met Zaire, and listen to this. So I was at the register, and Christina was talking to me. She's like, okay, so, and this was a Saturday. So like, this is my first Saturday. It was around, this was like before All-Star weekend. So yeah. So she was like, all right, so this is what you do in the register. It's Saturday, there's a lot of people here. Let's get it going. Keep some bags open so when people come in the line, you can just keep moving it. Do like this, show you the ropes. So then this is also the first day I worked with Zaire. So Zaire comes behind the register. I'm at the register, and when I first see somebody and they're cute, like, I just like I'm a little standoffish. So I'm just trying to focus on the register so I don't blush at him. So Zaire comes around the register, and Christina goes, oh yeah, this is Zaire, and Zaire means Zaria, Zaria means Zaire. I was like, hey. He was like, what's up, how you doing? So, you know, I'm all blushing. I'm like, ooh, child, he looks so good. When I tell you, I thought Zaire just was the cutest thing on earth. Like, I just thought he was the cutest thing. So I'm like, oh my God, right? So boom, so we're working, and I didn't really approach him or talk about him that whole day, because I was just like, you know, I'm new, let me not, or whatever, right? Right. So yeah. So, all right, so when I first met Zaire, we really only, like, the first day, it wasn't like a lot of us talking. Like, it was just like, you know, a couple things about work and stuff like that. So, you know, nothing too major. And at this time, my friend, who we ended up speaking to Zaire at the same time, we're gonna call her Amber. Amber just started with, like, at the job too. So we were both new, basically. So we both got hired around the same time. We're both new, and from my knowledge, we're both meeting Zaire for the first time. Or so I thought. But we're just gonna go off what I thought. We're not gonna go with the facts until we get there. So me and Amber actually lived the same way. So we took the train from work, going the same way, got off at the same stop. So we took the train together for like the first couple of times. So when we took the train, we were just talking, you know how girls do, just gossiping, like, oh my god, so like, are you excited to start working? Like, what grade are you in? What school do you go to? Like, all types of stuff. Like, what do you do? Like, what do you like? You know, so I'm just telling her I like YouTube videos, and then we're asking each other like, okay, so like, who do we hang out with? All right, so she graduated and I'm a senior now. So she goes to school, like, she goes to the school that's a couple blocks from my school. My school is here, her school is over there. But we never met, which is weird. So we usually were at like the same places, like from my knowledge, like after we started talking. So it was just weird. So we're like, oh my god, so you know this person, you know that person. I'm like, yeah, girl, I know them. She was like, oh, you know them? I'm like, yeah, I know them, you know them, you know. Right, like that. So it was really cool. So we're like basically catching up. So then, like, we're talking about like boys that we like, or do I have a boyfriend at the time? Listen, boys are so full of crap that I don't even remember if I was like talking to somebody before. Was I talking to somebody at that time? I don't know, cause girl, these boys just fall in my head. Cause I'm not care. I don't have time. I don't think I didn't have a boyfriend at the time. Actually, I know who I was talking to at the time, but he's irrelevant now, so whatever. That's the talking stage. Like, we're in the talking stage. We're not boyfriend and girlfriend, but we're also not super single. But I was talking to the person, and at this time, the person I was talking to, we were like kind of breaking apart or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, so that's why I just had this big crush on Zaire. So me and Amber were talking, and I tell her, yeah, I'm talking to somebody, but it's not, you know, this is happening, and I don't really know. You know, not getting too into details, but it's the first time me and her taking the train. We're just talking. So she brings up Zaire. Remember, I thought that this was the first time that they met, that they knew each other. But remember, whatever. So she brings up Zaire. She says, yeah, Zaire, yeah, watch out for him. He's off limits. So when she says that, I'm thinking she's saying, okay, he has a girlfriend, like, outside of work. Like, you know, I didn't think it was her. But that's not the point right now. So she says he's off limits. So I say, okay, whatever. So, all right. So fast forward like a couple more days into working. We're not exactly new. We're a little bit, a month or two in the job. Remember, we both started at the same time. So I'm telling Chris, like, one day it's me at work, Christina, and another one of our coworkers, and we're gonna name her Melissa. So Melissa, Christina, and I are at work, and we're closing with somebody else. He's not really important to the story. And then, like, we're just talking, and then the song comes on. I'm like, oh my god, this reminds me of Zaire. I'm like, and then they're like, Zaire? You like Zaire? I'm like, oh my god, like, I had this little crush on him. Like, he's just so cute, and all type of stuff like this. So then Melissa goes, you want me to work that out? You want me to hook that up? Because Melissa and Zaire are close. Like, they are, like, Melissa, Christina, and Zaire, like, they all were like a little clique. Because they would be having little inside jokes. Because they were obviously working there longer than I had, me and Amber had. So, like, they just have all these inside jokes. And they all know each other. And they're like, yeah, Zaire. They know him good, whatever. So, she's like, you want me to hook that up? So, I'm like, should I? Because Amber said he's off limits. But she didn't say it was her. So, shoot. Whatever, I have a crush on him. I'm single. From what I presume, he's single too. So, okay, yeah. So they're like, all right, we're going to hook that up. Fast forward the next day that me and Zaire work together. Zaire comes up to me like, Melissa told me or whatever. Actually, no. Zaire was off this day, like, but he came in. So I'm working and I'm trying to play it off. I'm not excited to see him, whatever. So inside I'm like, oh my god. So he comes up to my register and we're talking or whatever. He's like, yeah, Melissa and Christina told me, like, you know. So, like, why you ain't tell me? Like, that's crazy. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm new. I'm shy. Playing it off. Y'all know I ain't no shy. Whatever. So he like, all right, so just take my number down. We could text. So I'm like, okay. Mind you, in my heart, I'm jumping. I'm just so excited. But then to him, I'm just like, all right, I'll text you or whatever. We could text, like, you know. Boom. I get off work and we're talking. The conversation is going so cute. He's like, yeah, you so pretty. Why you like me? Why you have a crush on me? I'm like, I don't know, you cute. Like, you seem cool. Like, yeah, I like you, whatever. So, yeah. Alright, fast forward, let's say a month. Me and him are texting. We're taking the train home together from work. FaceTiming each other. we calling each other. We go out to eat after, not out to eat, we went to Shake Shack after work one day. We buying each other lunch. You know, what type of stuff. Being cute. So yeah, by the rate that this was flowing, I thought me and Zaire were gonna be in love. Whatever. So we're texting, we're talking about life and future, and talking about school, and we're talking about, you know, the job, and like, I'm just, you know, we had such a cool relationship. Like, we were always, not relationship, but like, we were joking around, and I'm thinking that he only talked to me. So then we're following each other on Instagram and stuff like that. We're just talking, like, a lot of, they was going good. I'm talking to him about my life and like what I want to like buy and stuff, all types of stuff. Like, you would think it was more than what it came to be. So even at work, when we worked at the same time, like, I would wait for him after work, or like, we'll go downstairs and we'll be with each other, like, you know, kikiing, you know, whatever. So yeah, so I'm thinking things going all right. And it was even times when Amber and I and him and Zaire were all working together, like, in the store, but you felt nothing. Like, you could not tell, like honestly, you could not tell that me and him were talking, or clearly they were talking, Amber and Zaire. Right. So yeah, so one day me and Amber, we always used to leave and get on the train together, but Zaire was closing with us that day. So like, it felt a little weird after work, because like, he walked, so it's a train station right by the job, and he was walking to another train station. It was like a little weird. And then like me and Amber get on the train. I'm like, okay, so we're going home. She's like, no, I have to go meet my mom or whatever. And so she didn't get in the cart with me. She got in the cart, like, I think a cart after me. And I'm getting on the train. I'm like, oh, that's weird. It's like 9 o'clock at night, and her mom doesn't want to meet her here, like, or whatever. But at the time, I didn't think nothing of it. I'm just like, whatever, I'm gonna go home and whatever, you know. So yeah, then it started that somebody used to drive me and Amber home, because we all, like, a lot of us, we all lived in the same area, and somebody used to drive me and Amber home. And then like, one day I saw Zaire walking with them, and then me and Amber are going the other way, and we're like, like, that's crazy. And then Amber would end up ditching me. She'll end up finding some way to run off. So I did not really think nothing of it, because it was not that deep. Like, I would still be texting Zaire when I get home and stuff like that. Me and Amber would still be like, texting each other, you know, talking about our day and stuff like that. Like, it wasn't really nothing. At the time, I wasn't thinking nothing of it. So I'm thinking Zaire talked to me, and probably not only me, but from what I could see, me, and I talked to him. And I used to be in school, like, oh my god, my coworker. I just had this big crush on my coworker. Like, I used to always talk about him, because the way it was going and how close we were, you know, was going good or whatever. So now that you guys see the background, and me and him were at times together, we were all together at work and stuff like that, let's fast forward to the summer when the juice happened, where the tea spilled. Okay. So I'm trying to think why we went out. Okay, because Zaire went off to college. We was like, okay, we're gonna go out for drinks, and we're gonna enjoy each other's company one last time before he goes away. So me, the coordinator of the events, I decided we can go to this bar in Dumbo downtown, if you guys live in Brooklyn. So yeah, so in Dumbo, so I'm like, all right, we go to this cute little spot. It's a Mexican spot. They have food, drinks, we can laugh, all types of stuff. Okay, cool. Everybody is on board. Literally everybody that worked at my job, whether they're still there, they left, everybody all had love for Zaire. Like, Zaire was like the golden employee. If you open a book and you look up everybody's favorite employee, you will see Zaire's picture there. Okay, and it'll say ain't shit under it, but still, right? Like, he was just like everybody loved him. So that's why all of the employees was like, all right, we're gonna go. So we meet up, and I invite Amber and Zaire. Then there's Christina, Melissa's boyfriend, and Christina's boyfriend and Melissa's friend, another girl. She was like, that's her date. So yeah, so this is where it starts getting juicy. So we all come in, and they have a table set up for us. It's about 7 of us, because Zaire came with his friend. So Amber and I, we walk in, we all giggling, and we sit down opposite from each other. But I was like, leave that seat empty across from me. I'm like, sit in that one, leave this one empty, because I wanted Zaire to sit across from me. I did not know. So I'm like, okay, leave it open. And she's like, for what? So whatever. I'm just like, I'm not gonna press it, whatever. She sits down. then Melissa is like, yeah, where's Zaire gonna sit? So I'm like, yeah, I wanted him to sit here. But then, you know, whatever. So Zaire comes in with his cousin. His cousin sits at like the head of the table, and Zaire sits next to Amber. So this is how it's set up. It's Christina's boyfriend, Amber, Zaire, and then at the head is his cousin, who doesn't know their name because nobody cares right now. Then it's Christina, me, of course I'm Amber, Melissa, Melissa's friend. And remember, Amber and Zaire are sitting next to each other. So, right. We order food, we order chicken wings. Me and Amber going half on chicken wings. We order shots. We like shots. These shots are $10 a shot, and I ordered about 10 shots. And Amber's getting a liquor too. We're all getting we're getting blue Hawaiians. I'm getting a sangria. I never drink a sangria in my life, and I got a sangria. Woo, we lit. I don't like the sangria. I throw it out. I get another. Let me get a Patron margarita. Let me get a shot of Patron. Let me get a shot of Ciroc. Let me get a shot of this. Let me get this. I'm eating the chicken wings. We're eating nachos. Everybody's laughing and we're having fun. Then everybody gets tipsy. So Zaire was drinking, but he was not as drunk as me and Amber got. And you know, the truth spills when you're drunk. So when I tell you, me and Amber are drunk. Amber is knocking over shots, and I'm handling my liquor pretty well, but she's knocking over shots and she's doing like this. So I say I gotta use the bathroom. So I'm all drunk. I gotta use the bathroom. I remember what I had on and everything. So my skirt is all tight, my shirt is all cropped. So I'm like, all right, let me get up. So Melissa says, all right, come on, I'm gonna take you to the bathroom. And so Zaire says, I gotta use the bathroom too. So we walk to the bathroom. We leave Amber and everybody else at the table. So it's me, Melissa, and Zaire walking to the bathroom. But it's two bathrooms. So like Zaire went to one and I went to the other. But Melissa's right behind me. So so me and Zaire are by the bathrooms, and like we all talking. I'm like, yeah, Zaire, whatever. I go into the bathroom, use the bathroom. Woo, feel good. You know, you drunk, you pee, it feel like everything. So we come out, and then Melissa comes out too. So I'm all giggling. Zaire goes back. I'm behind Zaire, and Melissa's behind me. So Amber starts to get upset because she's like, did they just go into the bathroom together? So boom. So the people at the bar are just tired of us. They're like, y'all gotta like, come on. So I paid. My tab was like $100 and something because all the shots like were just, you know, whatever. So so then Zaire sits down, and I'm like, okay, this is my man. He's about to go away, so whatever. So I go and I sit on Zaire's lap, and I'm throwing my arm around him. I'm like, Zaire, I'm gonna miss you. So Amber is like, Zaire. So I'm like, what's she screaming for? Zaire, why she yelling? So everybody looking at each other like nobody knows what's going on except for Zaire and his cousin. They know that Amber and Zaire talk, so they're looking at each other. And at the time I should have caught it, like, why they looking at each other? Mind you, I'm the one sitting on Zaire, and I'm like, what's she yelling for? Like, this is me. We're an item. So the people at the bar, when I tell you they are fed up with us, they're like, all right, we're closed. Like, you guys, it's a summer night. I think it was like Saturday, whatever. So we're getting out. So next thing you know, we get outside, and she's yelling, Zaire, Zaire, and it looks like she's about to hit me. Well, the way they were like taking her away, looks like she's about to hit me. Mind you, me and this girl are friends, and I'm on Zaire like, Zaire, this is my man. Zaire is my man. I'm all hugging him. I'm all trying to be in his face, and he's letting me, but then he's kind of like trying to like, all right, like, you know. So I'm like, Zaire, what's going on? Zaire. And so Melissa and Christina, mind you, Amber's really drunk, and she's like on the curb, and she's like crying. She's like, Zaire, come here, Zaire, come here. So Melissa and Christina are like, Amber, no, you're going home. They're pulling her. They bring her to the car. Pulling her to Melissa's car. No, she has to go. And they're like, take Zaria in the cab. Put Zaria in the cab. Zaire, take Zaria. Wow, Amber is yelling still. She keeps yelling, Zaire, Zaire. And I'm like literally, like legitimately, honestly confused as to what's going on, as to why she keeps yelling his name. Because I'm not thinking nothing. I'm like, I didn't know they talked. I didn't know they was something. So I'm with Zaire. I'm one of Zaire, like, Zaire, what's going on? And then Amber's just like, Zaire, Zaire. So then Melissa and Christina pull Amber into the car, and they're driving her home. And while I'm figuring out whether I'm getting an Uber, a cab, somebody's picking me up, Melissa and Christina are texting me. They're like, are you okay? Amber's like drunk, she's crazy, we're getting her home, all of this. So now I'm still back at the bar with Zaire and his cousin. So I'm like, I'm getting an Uber. Why was she yelling your name? What's going on? What's going on? He's still not, like, he's literally not answering me. And he's like, look, we're not putting you in an Uber. We're all gonna get in the green cab. So we hail the green cab. I'm in the cab with them. I'm sitting in the middle, drunk, laughing, just talking. I don't remember what I was saying in the cab. I just know I was just yelling. And I know that as soon as I said, I gotta throw up, Zaire was like, whoa, and he like, I feel like he picked me up and put me by the window, and I'm just sitting at the window, head on out the window, carefree, not a care in the world, not thinking nothing. I'm just like, I'm with Zaire, and that's it. So I'm so like drunk, whatever. I didn't throw up, but I'm just like trying to catch some air so I could just cool down or whatever. And then next thing I know, fast forward, Zaire and his cousin are getting out the cab. They're home. So I'm like, all right, Zaire. So I give Zaire a kiss or whatever, and then Zaire gives the cab enough money for his fare and for mine. We didn't get home yet to my house. So he pays for the cab, whatever. And I'm in the cab, and I'm just like leaning out the window looking like, oh my God. Get home, fast forward, go to sleep, throw up my drink, fast forward to the next day at work. Me and Amber meet face to face because we're back at work, and it's like a little awkward, and she's talking to me, but you know that she's not talking to me like, you know, it's like there's something wrong. So I'm just thinking like, oh my God, they were an item. They talked, like, that's why it was so crazy. Like, I'm in my right mind, and I'm like, yo, like, I can't believe it. So Melissa and Christina, you know, fast forward to like the day after, they come to work and they like, yo, like, Zaria, I had no idea. Mind you, these two set me up. They knew that they knew Zaire longer than I did. They didn't necessarily set me up, but they set me and Zaire up to talk. So I'm thinking, y'all so cool. How did you not know that Zaire and Amber were a thing? They're like, honestly, we did not know. We found out the same way that you found out. This is brand new to us as well. He did not ever say anything about it. So I'm just like, are you serious? And then Amber, the next day I saw her, she was not speaking to me, like dead silence. She was acting funny, and I'm like, this girl is really not talking to me. Like, I wanted to talk about the situation, but at one point I was like, it's not my fault. So, you know, it's not my fault. I didn't know. Then on the other hand, I'm like, yo, this girl's my friend. Like, I should talk to her. I should like clear this up. So me and Amber go about 2 weeks without speaking or whatever, and then finally everybody in the store, our store is like a high school, so when something happens, we may have tried to keep it within us, but everybody's gonna find out and everybody's chattering. So everybody's talking about how drunk we were and what happened, and they're like, yeah, he was messing with Zaire at the same time. And then one day I wasn't at work, Amber calls me. She says, Zaria, I have to ask you questions. And we are literally talking about the whole situation. She says, Zaire said that he didn't talk to you because you're a little ass girl and this and that, and he doesn't talk to you and da. I'm looking at the phone like, Zaire said what? Zaire said that he doesn't like me? Zaire said that I'm a little girl? Doesn't quite add up, because he told me that he didn't talk to you, and I mentioned you. I said, like, is there something going on? And you know what's crazy now that I think about it? I knew Zaire was talking to somebody else because another girl came into the job and asked, is Zaire at work today? And I'm like, no, he's not. She's like, can I get his schedule? Because, and I used to go to school with this girl. This is another, her and Amber have the same name, so I'm gonna call her Amber number 2. So Amber number 2, I used to go to school with her, so I know her. She's just giving me the tea. She's spilling tea. She's like, yeah, because he got my debit card, and I don't like that, and he didn't text me back and all this. I'm like, tell me more, girl. Tell me. I'm listening. I'm like, yeah, Amber number 2, really? This is what Zaire is doing? So that's how I kind of knew. I knew he wasn't all together, but I didn't know he was that, you know? So, yeah. So isn't that crazy? He's talking to both Ambers. I'm like, wow. So me and her, we're talking about it, and I had brought up the first Amber to him. I'm like, okay, well, she's not talking to me, so something was obviously going on after the situation. He goes, I don't know why she's not talking to you. Nothing was going on. Like, he's really basically playing it off. And then she's telling me everything that he's saying. She's telling me that Amber's telling me that Zaire said all of this stuff. I'm like, are you serious? Because, like, come on. She was telling me how Zaire, when he would go home with me or something like that, how Zaire would say he's going somewhere else. He wasn't going with me. Like, why would he be going with me? And then, mind you, he did it smart. Because me and Amber went to the same stop. He didn't go to the same stop as us, but he would only go home with me when she wasn't working. So he would go to the stop with me and go back home, whatever. That's not the point of the matter of fact or whatever. So, like, I could not believe it. Like, we're really on the phone. I'm like, well, if you want text messages that he was not dubbing me, he was not like denying me, then I could gladly give them to you. But I feel like it's not that deep because Zaire, honestly, he was never my boyfriend. I really did like him, but I don't have time for screenshot, and I'm really not one of those type of girls that's like, okay, well, he was saying this to me. Like, you don't want to believe me, girl, you don't gotta believe me. He know, I know, and that's it. You want to play dumb, because I'm not doing it. So, moral of the story is, me and Amber was both talking to Zaire the whole my whole first year working there, and we had no clue, and he was denying me to her and he was denying her to me, which shows you boys are really not shit, and us girls should band together and go against them. We should not stop talking to each other. We should stop talking to them. Okay, whatever they're doing right now, that has nothing to do with me. But I'm just so glad I washed my hands of the situation. Because when she called and she told me, like, look, that's my boyfriend. Like, like, Zaire is literally my man. That just really opened the doors. I didn't even text him, like, wow, you're crazy. Because I really did not care at that point. So I just said, girl, here's all the honesty. I told you everything I could. I told you everything that happened. It's not me. And yeah, then I asked her, I'm like, why didn't you ever say nothing? She said, I did say something. When we were on the train, I said, he's off limits. I said, I thought you met somebody else, not you. If you told me it was you and you're my friend, I would have been like, oh, later for him. But I didn't care, like, you know? So, yeah. Zaire is just a mess, and it's crazy because at my first job that I'm working at the same time, somebody used to talk to Zaire too, and she was spilling the tea about him too, and I'm just like, this is so much tea, like, I can't handle it about Zaire. But you know, I still saw through the cuteness and the nice waves and the fade and the thought haircut, you know. Moral of the story is, boys are, it's more than what meets the eye, and it's definitely more than what they say. So be careful and do not talk to anybody from your workplace, because you will find out over liquor that you and somebody else are talking to the same person. So yeah, thanks for watching my story time video, and if you want to see any more, make sure you comment down below and let me know, because I do have stories to tell you. And see you next time.